As soon as I get the camera out to record the guy making all the noise, he stops making all the noise and he goes and hides away. I'm going to talk to myself a little bit. It's kind of an echoey place, so I'm not going to speak too loud. But I want to talk about qualifications, or the lack thereof. Yesterday evening I was listening to a podcast. Stuart Armstrong on the Talent Equation podcast was talking about broken education, broken coach education specifically, and was talking about qualifications. And now, once you've got the qualification, you don't tend to lose it. You don't lose your level 1 football or your level 2 whatever. And he was saying that he could qualify as a level 3 coach and then not be checked for it. He needs to do CPD and update courses, but there's no way to monitor his expertise. And this is the same thing in most other sports and in trampoline for in my example, there's some coaches that I've seen that passed their level 3, level 4 years and years and years ago, but they're still as qualified or more qualified than some of the people qualifying doing their courses now, which to me seems odd. Now, if someone else does qualifications, level 1, 2 or 3, that newly qualified level 3 has the same piece of paper, same qualification as that old level 3, but the old level 3 might not have coached in 20 years, or they might have coached loads in 20 years. So even though the piece of paper says they're the same level, they're really not. And this is actually a serious issue, especially in trampoline, because of insurance. So what, we're going to the coffee shop, then we're going to go for the walk afterwards?
Yeah. And then we'll decide what we want to do for lunch.
Probably eat out. For those unfamiliar with trampoline, essentially you've got your level 1 going all the way up to level 5, and you can do certain skills all the way up. So level 1 you're only insured for a certain amount of skills if you have a level 2 with you. So someone that's got a level 2 qualification is more insured to coach skills that do in a level 1, and that goes up. So you can teach bigger skills the higher up you go. So you need to pay BG essentially to get the courses to be able to be insured to coach those skills. However, you might see where this is going. If you've got a level 3 that hasn't done any coaching for 15, 20 years, or has done minimal coaching, or hasn't coached those bigger skills because they haven't had individuals there, they are still insured to coach those skills. Even if someone, maybe take myself for example, that's seen, coached, worked with individuals to those skills through other coaches that are in their environment, and I've worked with those performers, I'm not insured at all until I've done those qualifications. Of course, once you've done the qualification and you potentially got the insurance, the ways and the methods at which you coach those skills may be more or less dangerous depending on what it is that you're doing. Which comes back to when you do those qualifications and what those qualifications mean, because just because you passed the qualification assessment test on that day doesn't mean you are still safe now. Coaching methodologies change and evolve over time, so some coaches that are outdated according to new methodologies, new ideas, new philosophies, new ways of coaching, ecological dynamics as an example, are still safe. They're still working, it still works. These new ways of thinking might actually be prevented because of the insurance, because of the restrictions in insurance, because you won't pass the qualification, because it's not part of the qualification. And then Stuart, in his podcast, started talking about how we then move these qualifications forwards. Instead of it being a one test, one qualification, one exam to be qualified or insured to coach certain skills, it's an ongoing development of showing expertise, showing various experiences, showing the development that you're putting into it, whether it be lecturing, turning up to other courses, or coaching and reflecting on practice and showing the reflection in practice rather than saying, I've done this reflection piece, write down some stuff on a piece of paper and that be it, because actually doing things is different from writing things. I've just come back from a tour, and the tour guide said they'd done a degree, but I don't have a way to test that, prove that. It's just, oh yeah, they've done a degree and they've lived here, so they have experience, and I can only gauge their expertise in being able to tour and talk around Edinburgh from what I'm experiencing, what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, and my experience is going to be different from everyone else's experience. And at the moment, sports coaching is in the same place. Whether you have a coach that's qualified to level 1, 2, 3, whatever, or a coach that isn't qualified, it's down to the individual experience to say whether they were good or not. So the qualifications, apart from insurance reasons, don't seem to serve their purpose, unless I'm missing something. But then again, I guess it depends what purpose you put on qualification.
We're going on another walk. It feels like London, but obviously it looks so different. It looks older. Still on the main road, yet it doesn't feel like it.
That laptop is going to take off. It sounds like it's going to take off like an aeroplane, but it's getting the job done. Now I know I'm on holiday, I'm meant to be relaxing and doing all of that sort of stuff, but it doesn't stop me from thinking about other things. So the coaching qualifications that I spoke about this morning, having seen the guy doing the bagpipes, I was thinking, you know what, that relates, and I'm going on a walk later, so to clarify, yes, I'm thinking about coaching qualifications and a guy playing a bagpipe, and I'm going to think about that whilst walking up a hill. Change your plans, because the sky is grey, we're not going to go walk up a hill and have a look at the sunset. But when I think about the guy playing the bagpipes, he maybe has a qualification, I don't know. All I know is when I listen to it, it sounds like the bagpipes. It looks like it sounds like it, so it must be a guy competent enough to play the bagpipes. There is a relationship between the professional, the person that's doing the thing, the expert, the person that has expertise, and the people observing that individual with expertise. And qualifications become part of that relationship. You can see that with people that have PhDs or doctorates in whatever it is, master's degrees, etc. That piece of paper it tries to show competence or knowledge, and it does at one point in time. And under the specific guidelines or marking criteria of whatever body gave them the qualification or piece of paper. And that to me is where the struggle is when it comes to qualifications, expertise, feedback, navigating dynamics between individuals. Who's doing the measuring? Who's saying it's good or not good? Who's saying it's effective or ineffective? What's the measure? Qualifications measure criteria. I don't think they measure expertise. If they do, not very well. Which begs the question, how do we measure expertise more effectively?